Dr. Jin Park rubbed his tired eyes and checked the data again. The signal was still there. For 3 nights in a row, his team at the Global Space Initiative had picked up the same strange pattern from deep space. It wasn't random noise. It was a message. "Ha! Look at this," Jin called to his assistant. "The pattern is getting stronger." Ha walked over, her face lit by the blue glow of the screen. Could it be a technical error? "Not for 3 days straight," Jin said. "Someone is coming." Jin was right. 4 days later, the skies of Earth filled with massive ships. They appeared suddenly, huge dark shapes blocking the sun over every major city on the planet. People ran into the streets, some in fear, others in wonder. In Seoul, Major Han Ta watched the ships from the roof of the Unified Defense Force headquarters. His hand rested on his gun, but he knew it would be useless against visitors who could cross the stars. "Sir," a young soldier said, "the president wants all defense leaders on a video call now." Han nodded. "Tell them I'm coming." On screens across the world, a message played. A tall figure with gray skin and 4 eyes spoke in perfect English. "People of Earth, I am Supreme Commander Kral of the Doman Empire. Your planet is now under our protection. We control hundreds of star systems. Your technology is primitive. Your resources belong to us now. Submit and live as our workers, or resist and be removed." The message was short. It was clear. It was a threat. In the meeting that followed, world leaders argued about what to do. Some wanted to fight right away. Others wanted to surrender to save lives. "We need time," Han said when it was his turn to speak. "We can't win a war today, but we can prepare while we talk to them." President Min nodded. "Major Han is right. We will send our best diplomat to meet them." "Dr. Park, what have you learned about their technology?" Jin stepped forward with his tablet. "Their ships use an energy source much more powerful than anything we have. But every system has weaknesses. We just need to find theirs." The meeting ended with a plan. Diplomat Kim Do would meet with the aliens and try to delay any attack. Meanwhile, Han and Jin would secretly prepare for resistance. The next day, Kim Do entered the alien ship hovering over New York. He wore his best suit and carried no weapons. Inside, the ship was cold and dark. The walls seemed alive, pulsing with strange lights. Commander Kral towered over Kim, nearly 7 feet tall. "Your leaders are wise to send you," Kral said. "Other species have tried to fight first. They no longer exist." Kim kept his face calm. "We wish to learn about the Doman. How can Earth fit into your empire?" "You will provide resources and labor," Kral said. "Your people will work in our mines and factories. Some will serve on our ships. The rest will grow food for our troops." "And if we refuse?" Kim asked. Kral's 4 eyes blinked slowly. "Look at this." He waved his hand, and a screen appeared showing a planet exploding into dust. This was called Terax by its people. They refused. Kim swallowed hard. "I will take your terms to our leaders. They will need time to prepare our people." "You have 1 Earth month," Kral said. "Then we begin." As Kim left the ship, he activated the small device Jin had given him. It recorded everything about the ship's interior: air, sounds, energy readings, data they would need. Back at the underground lab, Jin met with Han and Kim. "Did you get the readings?" Jin asked. Kim nodded. "Yes, but we only have 1 month." "Then we have work to do," Han said. "They think we'll give up like the others. They're wrong." Jin looked at the data flowing across his screen. "They're advanced, but they're not gods. They can be beaten." "How?" Kim asked. Jin smiled for the first time in days. "They've never met humans before. They don't know what we can do when pushed into a corner." Outside, the alien ships cast long shadows over the cities of Earth. The people waited, looking up at the new stars that had come to claim their world. The countdown had begun. Field Commander Vrax stood on the roof of the Seoul Tower, looking down at the human city. Next to him, 3 other Doman officers scanned the buildings and streets with their devices. Vrax had led 50 planet assessments before. This was just another job. Their cities are poorly designed, Vrax said. Too much wasted space. But their mines are good, said another officer. The metals we need are here in large amounts. All across Earth and on the Moon and Mars colonies, teams of Doman were checking human technology, resources, and defenses. They walked through factories, farms, and labs. They counted weapons and ships. They tested the soil and water. In a lab under the city, Dr. Jin Park watched a video feed of the aliens. Han Ta had placed hidden cameras to track the Doman's movements. Look how they touch our computers, Jin said. They think they're toys. Han nodded. Good. Let them think we're weak. Across the room, a young woman raised her hand. Dr. Park, I found something. Jin walked over to her station. Her name was Song Mei, a new engineer who had joined their team after the aliens arrived. What is it, Song? Jin asked. She pointed to her screen. I've been watching how their ships power up. There's a pattern in the energy flow. See here. The power has to loop through this system, then back again. It's not very efficient. Jin looked closer. You're right. That's strange for such advanced technology. It's like they copied someone else's design but don't fully understand it. Song said. Han came over. Can we use this? Song nodded slowly. Maybe. If we could interrupt that power loop at the right moment. Keep working on it, Jin said. This could be important. Meanwhile, in New York, Kim Do met with Commander Krall for the 5th time. The diplomat was tired. Each meeting ended the same way. The Doman wanted everything, and humans would get nothing but survival. Your assessment teams have seen our world, Kim said. Surely you understand we need time to prepare our people. Krell's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. Time is not a resource we give freely. Other species have used time to plan resistance. It never works. We are not planning resistance, Kim lied smoothly. But our people are not used to change. If you rush this, they might panic. Krall stood up, towering over Kim. Very well. 2 more weeks. Then we begin the resource collection. After the meeting, Kim went straight to the hidden base. He found Jin, Han, and Song working late. 2 more weeks, Kim told them. That's all I could get. Han slammed his fist on the table. Not enough time. It has to be, Jin said. Song, show Kim what you found. Song displayed her diagrams of the Doman power systems. Their ships have this flaw. We might be able to use it. Kim studied the images. Have they noticed your research? No, Jin said. They think humans are simple. When they scan our computers, they only see what we want them to see. Kim looked worried. Krall told me something today. He said no species has ever resisted for more than one of their planetary cycles, about 6 Earth months. The room went quiet. Then we'll be the first, Han said finally. Song pointed to her screen. I've been mapping their ship locations. They have a pattern. Every 3 days, they move to new positions. Why? Asked Kim. I think they're scanning different parts of Earth, she said. But it leaves gaps in their coverage. Han looked at the map. Gaps we can use. Jin called everyone together. Listen to me. The Doman think they know what humans will do because they've conquered many worlds. But they've never met humans before. And humans don't give up, Han added. Outside, night fell over Seoul. The huge Doman ships blocked the stars, their lights pulsing slowly. In homes across Earth, people looked up in fear. But underground, in secret rooms and hidden labs, humanity was getting ready. The assessment was almost complete. But the Doman had missed something important. They had counted Earth's weapons and measured its technology. But they couldn't measure human courage or the power of a species fighting for its home. The news came during breakfast time. The Doman had destroyed the Europa outpost. All 3,000 people there were gone. The small moon base had been hit with a single blast from a Doman ship. "This is what happens when humans ask too many questions," Commander Krall said on all channels. "Your scientists on Europa were scanning our ships. This is not allowed." In homes across Earth, people cried. On Mars, the colony went silent with grief. In the underground base in Seoul, Major Han Ta watched the message with cold eyes. "They didn't warn them," Jin said, his voice shaking. "Not even a chance to stop." Han stood up. "It's time. We start Operation Firefly tonight." Song Me looked up from her work. "But it's not ready. We need more tests." "We're out of time," Han said. "The Doman want us to be scared now. They think we'll give up after seeing what they did to Europa. They're wrong." That night, 5 small Earth ships left a hidden base on the dark side of the moon. Each carried just 2 pilots. They flew straight at a Doman cruiser near Mars. The Doman ship's lights flashed on. Its weapons turned toward the small ships. "Attention human vessels," a voice said over the radio. "Return to your base or be destroyed." The Earth ships didn't turn back. They fired their small weapons, which did nothing to the big ship. The Doman fired back. In seconds, all 5 Earth ships exploded. The Doman sent a message to Earth. "Your attack failed. Your ships are dust. Do not try again." But the 5 ships were not the real attack. They were a distraction. While the Doman watched those ships, a tiny craft moved silently toward another Doman vessel. This ship had no weapons. It carried Song Mei and 2 engineers. They wore special suits that Song had designed to hide from Doman sensors. "We're at the entry point," Song whispered into her radio. Back on Earth, Jin watched their progress on a screen. "Be careful. You have 10 minutes before they might detect you." Song's team attached their ship to the huge Doman vessel. They cut through a small panel and slipped inside. The alien ship was dark and cold. Strange lights pulsed along the walls. "This way," Song said, following the map on her small screen. They reached a junction where power lines ran through the ship. Song opened her pack and took out 5 small devices. Each was the size of a coin and glowed with a soft blue light. "The fireflies," she said, "just like we planned." She placed the devices on different power lines, each one connected to the Doman systems, and began to gather data. They would map the Doman network from the inside and send the information back to Earth. 4 minutes left, one engineer said. They placed the last firefly and turned to leave. Just then, they heard a sound. A Doman soldier was coming down the corridor. Song froze. Their suits could hide them from sensors, but not from eyes. She pulled her team into a small space between the walls. The Doman walked past, just inches away. It paused, as if sensing something, then moved on. "Let's go," Song whispered. They made it back to their ship and detached from the Doman vessel. As they flew away, the huge ship never noticed they had been there. On Mars, colony leader Lee Jun gathered a team of engineers. They met in an underground room. "The Doman think we only have Earth weapons," Lee said. "They don't know what we can build here." He showed them plans for turning mining equipment into weapons. The drills used for digging Mars rock could cut through Doman ship hulls. The laser tools could be made stronger. "Begin building today," Lee ordered. "Tell no one who doesn't need to know." Back on Earth, Jin received the first data from Song's fireflies. "It's working," he told Han. "We can see inside their network now." Han nodded. "Good. The Doman think they won today. They think they scared us by destroying Europa and our 5 ships. But they didn't know the real mission," Jin said. "And they don't know what's coming next," Han added. 1 month after the destruction of Europa, the Doman began to set up bases on Earth. They built huge structures in deserts and remote areas. Thousands of Doman soldiers arrived each day. They'd brought machines to dig for metals and take Earth's resources. But under their feet, humanity was getting ready. Jin Park worked in an old mine shaft that had been turned into a lab. His team had labs like this in 20 places around the world. They were studying the data from Song's fireflies, learning about Doman technology. "Look at this," Jin said to Han Ta, who had just arrived. "The fireflies have mapped their whole communication system. On a large screen, they could see how the Doman ships talk to each other. Every message, every order was now visible to them." "Can we listen to what they say?" Han asked. Jin smiled. "Better. We can change what they say to each other. Not yet, but soon." Som Mai entered the room with a tablet. "I have news from the Mars colony. Li Jun sent this." She showed them pictures of new weapons made from mining tools. They looked nothing like regular guns or bombs. That was the point. The Doman wouldn't know they were weapons. "Good," Han said. "The Doman check for regular weapons, but they won't look twice at mining equipment." Jin pointed to another screen. "We found something else. Something big." The screen showed brain wave patterns. "This is a Doman soldier," Jin explained. "They have mental powers. They can sense emotions and sometimes read simple thoughts from other species. That's how they've beaten other planets so easily," Song said. "They always knew when a rebellion was coming. They could feel the anger and fear before anyone attacked." "But not with us," Jin said. "Look at this." He showed another scan. "Human brains work differently. They can't read us as well. They get confused by our thought patterns." Han looked surprised. "So we have a natural defense." "Not perfect," Jin warned, "but better than any species they've met before. It's buying us time. They don't know how much we're doing because they can't sense it." In New York, Kim Do kept meeting with Commander Krell. Each time, he promised that humans were accepting their new place in the Doman Empire. Each time, he gathered more information to send back to the Resistance. "Your people are very quiet lately," Krell said during one meeting. "Other species fought more at the beginning. Humans are practical," Kim said carefully. "We know when we are beaten." Krell's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Yes, you are learning faster than the others. Soon we will begin taking humans to work on other planets." Kim kept his face calm, but inside he felt cold fear. "When will this happen?" 3 months from now," Krell said. "The first ships are being prepared." That night, Kim met with the others by secure video. "We have 3 months before they start moving people off Earth," he told them. "That's not enough time," Song said. "It has to be," Han replied. "Jin, what's the status of the reverse engineering?" Jin looked tired. He hadn't slept much for weeks. "We've figured out how their shields work. We might be able to copy some of their weapons too." "And I have this," Song added. She showed a small device. "It can disrupt their power loops for about 30 seconds. Not long, but enough to cause problems." Han nodded. "Keep working. Every small advantage helps." On the surface, humans went about their daily lives under Doman watch. They went to work, came home, and kept their heads down. The Doman thought they were breaking the human spirit. They didn't see the secret messages passed between neighbors. They didn't notice the hidden workshops in basements. They didn't know about the tunnels being dug, connecting houses and buildings into escape routes. The Doman saw humans as a simple, beaten species. They had no idea what was growing right under their feet, a resistance powered by humanity's greatest strength, hope that refuses to die. 6 months had passed since the alien ships first appeared in Earth's skies. The Doman had grown tired of waiting. Their patience with humans had run out. In every city on Earth, giant screens showed Commander Krell's face. His 4 eyes looked cold and angry. "People of Earth," he said, "you have delayed too long. Tomorrow at noon, you will surrender completely. If not, we will destroy 1 city for each hour you make us wait. Choose now, become our workers and live, or resist and die." The message played over and over. In homes across the world, people looked at each other with fear. But in the hidden bases, the resistance leaders gathered. "It's time," Han Ta said. We can't wait any longer. Jin Park nodded. The weapons are ready. Not as many as we wanted, but they will have to do. Song Mai spread out a map showing all the Doman ships around Earth. We can hit these 12 ships at the same time. If we take down their shields first, our weapons might work. Kim Do, just back from his last meeting with Kral, looked worried. If we attack and fail, they will destroy everything. If we don't attack, they'll take our people away to work as slaves on other planets, Han said. There is no safe choice anymore. President Min, joining by secure video, made the final decision. Launch Operation Shadow tonight, before their deadline. Han turned to his team. You heard the president. We strike at midnight. All across Earth, secret resistance fighters got their orders. In hidden rooms, they took out weapons that had been built in basements and underground labs. On Mars, Li Jun loaded his special mining tools onto small, fast ships. At 11 that night, Song Mai stood on a rooftop with her team. They had devices that could shut down Doman shields for short times. They would strike first. Remember, she told them, we only have 30 seconds after the shields drop. Make it count. At the same time, Jin Park finished loading the last of his reverse-engineered Doman weapons. They were not as powerful as real Doman guns, but they were better than anything Earth had before. These will punch through their hull when the shields are down, he told his fighters. Aim for their power centers. At 5 minutes to midnight, Han Todd gave the final order. All teams, begin Operation Shadow. Song's team activated their devices. Around the world, other teams did the same. The invisible shields around 12 Doman ships flickered and went dark. For 30 precious seconds, the ships were exposed. Earth's fighters fired their new weapons. Jin's team hit the power centers. Li's ships from Mars attacked from above with converted mining lasers. The Doman were caught by surprise. 3 of their ships exploded. 4 more were damaged badly. But 5 were only hit lightly and quickly got their shields working again. The Doman response was fast and terrible. 2 hours later, their remaining ships moved into position above Shanghai and Seoul. Without warning, they fired. Both cities vanished in blinding light. Millions of people died in seconds. Commander Krell's face appeared on screens again. This is what happens to those who resist. We know about your secret attacks now. We know you have been preparing. It will not help you. In the resistance base, now moved to a new location, the leaders watched in horror. So many dead, Kim whispered. All those people. Han's face was hard with anger. We knew they would strike back. But now, they know we can hurt them too. Jin pointed to a screen showing space around Earth. More Doman ships are coming. They've called for help. Song looked at the data from the attack. Our weapons worked better than we hoped. We can hurt them. But at what cost? Kim asked, thinking of the destroyed cities. Han put his hand on Kim's shoulder. The cost of freedom is always high. But the Doman just made a mistake. They thought killing millions would break our spirit. Instead, they just gave every human on Earth a reason to fight. Outside, the night sky filled with more Doman ships. The real war had begun. 3 weeks after the destruction of Shanghai and Seoul, most of Earth's big cities lay in ruins. The Doman ships had bombed them from space. Billions of people now lived underground or had fled to mountains and forests. In a deep bunker under what used to be Moscow, Han Ta met with resistance leaders from around the world. The room was lit by dim lights to save power. The Doman are landing ground forces now, Han said, pointing to a map. They want our resources, and bombs can't dig up metals and oil. Good, said a resistance leader from Africa. On the ground, we can fight them better. Jin Park looked tired. He had lost weight, and his eyes were red from lack of sleep. We have new weapons ready, he said. Not enough for everyone, but better than before. The meeting was interrupted when Song Mei burst in. We have a signal from Mars, she said. The screen lit up, showing Li Jun's face. The Mars colony leader looked dirty and had a bandage on his head. "We're still here," Lee said. "The Doman tried to bomb us, but most of their shots missed. Mars's magnetic field confuses their targeting systems." This was the first good news in weeks. Mars had been silent since the war began. "Can you still build weapons?" Han asked. Lee nodded. "Yes, we're making more every day." "And we found something else. The dust storms here hide us from their scanners. We can move around without them seeing us." After the meeting, Jin took Song to see his newest invention. It was a small helmet with wires and lights. "This can block their mind-reading powers completely," Jin explained. "It creates a shield around the wearer's thoughts." Song tried it on. "How many do we have?" "Only 50 so far," Jin said. "But we're making more." Outside the bunker, the world had changed. The Doman had soldiers on the ground now. They moved through the ruins of cities, looking for humans and resources, but they found the ground fighting harder than expected. Human fighters didn't try to win big battles. They struck quickly and then disappeared. They used the ruins as hiding places. They set traps and ambushes. When the Doman thought they had won an area, humans would attack from hidden tunnels and then vanish again. In what was once Paris, a Doman patrol walked through empty streets. Suddenly, the ground opened beneath them. 5 soldiers fell into a pit. The others raised their weapons, but shots came from windows and roofs. Within minutes, the patrol was gone, and so were the human fighters. The Doman couldn't understand this way of fighting. They were used to enemies who fought in the open, who tried to match their power. Humans didn't do that. They struck and ran. They used the land they knew so well. In his command ship above Earth, Krall was angry. "How are they still fighting?" He asked his officers. "We destroyed their cities. We killed their leaders." "Not all of them," an officer said. "They hide too well, and our mind scanners don't work right on them." Krall slammed his fist down. "Send more troops. Find their underground bases. Crush them completely." Back in the Moscow bunker, Kim Do had set up a communication center. He worked day and night, talking to resistance groups and gathering information. Today, he had strange news for Han. "We've picked up messages from other planets in the Doman Empire," Kim said. "They're asking about our fighting methods. They'd want to learn from us." Han looked surprised. "Other species? I thought they were all slaves by now." Kim shook his head. "Not slaves, just beaten. Until now, they've been watching what we're doing. They see us fighting back. It's giving them hope." In another part of the bunker, children born during the war played and learned. Teachers taught them reading and math, but also how to hide, how to find food, how to recognize Doman technology. They grew up hearing stories of Earth before the invasion, of blue skies not filled with alien ships. One little girl looked up at her teacher. "Will we ever win?" she asked. The teacher smiled. "Yes, humans always find a way. That's what the Doman don't understand. The longer this war goes on, the stronger we get." Outside, the long night of occupation continued. But across Earth, and now on other planets too, a fire was growing. A fire the Doman couldn't put out. 3 years had passed since the Doman first came to Earth. The war had changed everything. Cities were gone. Forests had grown over ruins. Most humans lived hidden away from Doman eyes. In an underground lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, Jin Park made an amazing discovery. He had been studying the Doman technology for years, taking apart their weapons and ships whenever the resistance captured them. "Look at this," Jin said to Han and Song. He showed them a small device with strange writing on it. "This isn't Doman writing. It's someone else's." Han looked closer. "What does it mean?" "It means the Doman didn't make their own technology," Jin said. "They stole it from another species. When I checked other parts, I found the same thing. The Doman are using someone else's inventions." Song thought for a moment. If they didn't make it, maybe they don't fully understand how it works. That could be why their power systems have that loop flaw I found years ago. This news changed everything. If the Domin didn't understand their own technology, they might not know all its weaknesses. Meanwhile, Kim Do had made contact with other species in the Domin Empire. Using captured Domin communication devices, he had been talking with resistance fighters on other planets. They call themselves the Nara, Kim told the others. They say they once had a great civilization before the Domin came. It was their technology the Domin stole. Are there any Nara left who know how their technology works? Jin asked. Kim nodded. Yes, they have hidden groups just like us. They want to help us fight the Domin. 2 weeks later, a small ship landed secretly in a desert on Earth. From it came 3 Nara. They were tall and thin with silver skin and large eyes. The oldest one, named Saul, walked slowly, leaning on a staff. Jin and Song met them and took them to the underground base. There, Saul looked at the Domin technology Jin had collected. This was ours once, Saul said in a soft voice. The Domin took it 500 years ago. They killed most of us and forced the rest to work for them. But they never fully understood how it all works. Can you help us fight them? Han asked. Saul nodded. Yes, there are weaknesses in all our old technology. Things we built in as safety measures. The Domin never found them all. Saul showed them how to completely shut down Domin ships, not just for seconds, but for hours. And he helped Song improve her virus. Now it could spread through the entire Domin network, turning off weapons and shields everywhere. But to use this, Saul explained, someone must get into their main command ship and connect it to their central system. Han looked troubled. The command ship has never landed. It stays in orbit, heavily guarded. We will find a way, Jin said. While they worked with the Nara, Kim Do spread the word to other planets. The resistance was no longer just on Earth. Now 20 different species were planning to rise up against the Domin at the same time. In a secret meeting, Han explained the plan to resistance leaders from around the world. When the signal comes, every group attacks at once. Not just here, but on every planet in the Domin Empire. How will we know when? Asked a leader from Australia. You'll know, Han said. But first, we need to get someone onto that command ship. After the meeting, Song found Jin looking at old pictures of Earth from before the invasion. Do you think we can really win? She asked. Jin nodded slowly. Yes, the Domin made a mistake coming here. They thought humans would be like the others, that we would give up when things got hard. They didn't know us very well, Song said with a small smile. No, Jin agreed. They didn't know that humans get stronger when things look impossible. And now they've given us something they never meant to. What's that? Song asked. Hope, Jin said. Not just for us, but for all the species they conquered. The Domin thought they were testing our strength. They never understood they were revealing it. Outside, the stars were hidden by Domin ships. But soon, very soon, the sky would change again. The day of the final battle came 3 years and 4 months after the Domin first arrived on Earth. The resistance was ready. Han Ta gave the orders from the main base under the Rocky Mountains. All teams begin Operation Freedom at exactly 600 hours tomorrow. The plan was simple but dangerous. Song Mai would lead a small team to board the Domin command ship. They would plant the virus in the main computer. If it worked, all Domin ships would lose power at the same time. Who's going with you? Han asked Song. I need Jin, she said. He knows the virus better than anyone. And 4 soldiers with the mind-blocking helmets. Jin had not planned to go on the mission. He was a scientist, not a fighter. But he nodded. I'll go. That night, no one slept much. Kim Do sent the final message to resistance groups on other planets. When the Domin ships go dark, attack immediately. At 500 hours, Song's team boarded a small ship built with Nara help. It had special coverings that made it nearly invisible to Domin sensors. Jin checked the virus one last time. Remember, he told Song, we have 5 minutes to reach the main computer after we board, then 2 minutes to upload the virus. After that, run. The ship lifted off silently and headed for space. Han watched it go, then turned to his own team. Get ready for ground attack. When those ships go dark, hit every Doman base at once. On Mars, Li Jun prepared his forces. On Earth, resistance fighters moved into position near Doman bases. On a dozen other planets, other species did the same. Song's ship approached the Doman command vessel. It was huge, like a metal city hanging in space. They found a small service door, just as Saul had told them. The ship attached silently. Song led the way inside, wearing her mind-blocking helmet. Stay close, she whispered to the others. 5 minutes to target. They moved through dark corridors, following the map Saul had given them. Twice they had to hide from Doman patrols. 4 minutes left. 3. They reached a large door. The main computer room, Jin said. But it's locked. One of the soldiers placed a small device on the lock. It was nanotechnology, designed to open their own locks that the Doman now used. The door slid open. Inside, 3 Doman officers turned in surprise. The soldiers fired quickly with silent weapons. 2 Doman fell. The third hit an alarm before he went down. Hurry, Song said to Jin. They know we're here. Jin ran to the main computer and connected the virus. The screen flashed as it began uploading. 1 minute passed. Alarms rang through the ship. Someone's coming, one soldier said, looking at the door. The upload was at 80% when the main door opened again. Supreme Commander Krall himself walked in with 6 guards. His 4 eyes widened at the sight of humans in his command center. Kill them, he ordered. The soldiers fired, taking down 2 guards. But there were too many. Jin saw 1 soldier fall, then another. Song was hit in the arm. The virus was at 90%. Jin looked at the door, then at the computer. He made his choice. Get her out of here, he told the last soldier, pointing at Song. I'll finish this. Jin, no, Song cried. But the soldier pulled her away toward a side exit. Jin turned back to the computer. 95%. Krall walked toward him, weapon raised. You think you can defeat the Doman? Krall asked. Your species is nothing. Jin smiled. We're everything you never understood. The upload reached 100%. Now, he pressed the final key. Throughout the ship, lights flickered and went out. The same thing happened on every Doman ship around Earth and across their empire. They all went dark at once. Jin didn't see it. Krall's weapon fired one last time before the power died. On Earth, Han saw the Doman ships go dark. Now, he ordered. All across the planet, humans attacked the confused Doman forces. On Mars, Li led his fighters against the Doman base there. On dozens of planets, other species rose up at the same time. 6 months later, Song Mai stood with Han Tai at a ceremony in the new capital. Earth was free. The Doman Empire had fallen from within, torn apart by rebellions on every planet. Jin would be proud, Han said. Song nodded. She looked at the stone monument they had built. On it were carved Jin's last words. They thought they were testing our strength. They never understood they were revealing it. Around them, people were rebuilding. New cities rose from the ruins of the old. And in space, ships prepared for their first journeys to meet their new allies. Humanity had won its freedom. More than that, it had shown the galaxy something new, the unstoppable power of a will that refuses to be broken.